Have you ever been working in a virtual team and it was just not going well? Well, I am here to share some practical experiences and best practices for working in virtual teams. Although working in virtual teams can sometimes be challenging, I am going to share ways to effectively work in a virtual team by collaboration, a positive group climate, effective nonverbal communication, and good problem solving. The first area I'm going to cover is collaboration. For many teams, the ability to collaborate effectively is a differentiator between good teams and exceptional teams, especially when it comes to working virtually. According to the article 10 Do's and Don'ts for Successful Team Collaboration, written by Jennifer Britton and published in 2017, there are several key factors that are great for virtual collaboration and some that prohibit effective collaboration. To start, the 4 do's of virtual collaboration include the relationship, the end result, what's important, and what's at stake. First, relationships are essential to successful collaboration. They allow for more to be created together than separately. So positive relationships from the start lead to positive collaboration. Next, solid collaboration has to be aligned around the desired end result. Some helpful questions to ask your fellow group members could include, what will success look like? What is the shared responsibility for the end result? Why is the end result important, etc. These will all help your group work towards effective group collaboration in order to get the best possible end result. Next, another question to be asking is, what is important about this? This helps the group to collaborate and connect our actions to the bigger picture. It also supports enhanced motivation and engagement. Lastly, it's important to ask and remind the group of what's at stake. As everyone collaborates virtually, keep this in mind, and it can further strengthen your alignment and partnership. Now, the don'ts include ego, power, lack of candor, inability to work across differences, different end goals, and lack of trust. To start, ego is one of the biggest barriers that can get in the way of virtual collaboration. In order to prevent this, everyone can work to put their ego aside in order to truly listen and hear what is needed to synergize. Next, power. When power differentials are too different, it can be very difficult to collaborate. So, it's important to design the boundaries of virtual collaboration and be clear with intent. Next, lack of candor. Candor is the quality of being open and honest in expression and frankness. This is critical for collaboration because without it, there would be a lot of wasted effort. Team members need to be able to share ideas without concern of judgment, and they need to be open to feedback for effective collaboration. Next, the ability to work across differences. Making changes within one's own style is another essential ingredient for collaboration. Along with this, when end goals are too different, it can be very difficult to have collaboration. Then lastly, a lack of trust ruins team collaboration, so trust is vital to effective virtual collaboration from the start. For me personally, I've had many experiences working in virtual teams over the past year or so. So I would say that my major takeaways from virtual team collaboration were the importance of communication, trust, organization, and everyone doing their part. Communication is key here because when you never actually see them in person, it is critical to communicate when there are any issues, etc. Next, I'm going to cover group climates. Have you ever wondered why you had to work in a virtual team? Why, when you have to work in a virtual team, everyone tends to show lower levels of trust, cohesiveness, and satisfaction compared to working in face-to-face teams? Well, according to a journal called Assessing Trust and Effectiveness in Virtual Teams, written by Michael Coover and Winston Bennett, published in 2017, there are reasons to explain this, as well as ways to get around it. As I mentioned earlier, trust plays a central role in the effectiveness of work groups and teams. This is the case for both face-to-face and virtual teams. In this journal, they examined cognitive and affective trust and their relationship to team effectiveness as reflected through satisfaction with one's team and task performance. They found that initial trust has a linear and direct effect on the team satisfaction, cohesiveness, and overall outcome and performance. Some ways to obtain trust from the beginning include being upfront and honest at all times, respecting each other and their opinions and differences, doing your part and being responsible, and then these all contribute to an overall positive virtual team environment. From my personal experience working in virtual teams, I have found that it is crucial to be positive, trusting, and communicate very well through different virtual platforms in order to obtain a positive and satisfactory group climate for your team. Now, for my third topic, I'm going to cover the importance of nonverbal communication when working with virtual teams. According to an article from a well-known magazine, Training, called The Importance of Nonverbal Communication in Virtual Meetings, written by Jeff Wolf and published in 2020, there are 5 key functions in improving nonverbal communication in virtual teams. These include repetition, substitution, complement, assenting, and misleading or deceiving. First, repetition. Gestures such as nodding serve to reinforce what's being said. Next, substitution involves replacing a spoken word with a nonverbal cue. This is a way to effectively communicate. Then, compliment. A smile can complement words of enthusiasm or praise. Next, assenting. When you accent a particular word in a sentence, a strong tone of voice dramatizes the message. Lastly, detecting deception is usually based on nonverbal cues. Some overall suggestions to improve nonverbal communication in virtual teams include watching yourself and others, maintaining eye contact, working on your posture, setting the stage or environment around you, read your audience, listen to your voice, and question yourself. For me personally, as I have worked in virtual teams, I would say that the biggest takeaway I noticed from this is the importance of eye contact and posture in nonverbal communication. On Zoom calls, sometimes people can turn off their cameras, and I think that personally, as a sign of respect and good communication, it is best to leave your camera on and focus and use positive nonverbal communication in order to obtain the best team communication possible. The last area I'm going to cover regarding virtual teams is problem solving. The impact of technology on group problem solving is huge. According to an article called Enhancing A3 Problem Solving with Technology, written by Doan Do and Frank Cohn, published in 2017, there are many positive effects on virtual problem solving through technology. These tools include standardized processes, enabled knowledge sharing, the ability to send and share Zoom video, and the ability to measure impact through technology. All of these factors majorly aid in effective problem solving through a virtual platform. And there are actually several benefits to this as well. For me personally, I have experienced problem solving with my team through Zoom or Google Docs. I would say that the biggest takeaways I have from that were the ability to effectively communicate through Zoom. I also like that all comments and work done in Google Docs were saved, so that everyone could review them later. Technology definitely aided in making all of our problem-solving efforts more effective and clear. In the end, although working in virtual teams can sometimes be challenging, I shared several ways to effectively work in a virtual team by collaboration, a positive group climate, effective nonverbal communication, and good problem solving. Now, the next time you have to work in a virtual team, I hope you will use my best practices in order to have the most effective virtual team experience. Thank you.